So let me just show y'all like what is really pissing me the fuck off right now. Hold on.
After nearly 20 years and authorities completely removing a home from the ground, the case of a missing 16-year-old girl is finally getting closure. This is very heartbreaking. On May 10, 2004, Autum McClure's grandmother, who she lived with at the time, called police to report her missing. Police contacted Autumn's boyfriend at the time, who told them that he had dropped her off at a mall. So police began putting out missing persons flyers trying to determine where Autum was. They said that they were doing everything that they could do when there was a missing person. About 2 days later, Autumn's grandmother called police back and said that she had received a phone call from Autum and also some letters and postcards that were marked from Melbourne, Florida. Autum indicated to her grandmother that she was fine and that she would return home after she turned 18 years old. Through their investigation, authorities learned that Autum had been staying with a girl she worked with at Winn-Dixie named Jessica Freeman and her boyfriend Brian Dodley at a mobile home. When police went to interview them, Jessica said that her and Autum worked together, and Autum had shared that she didn't like living with her grandmother, so she offered her to stay with them. She said that Autum stayed at their house for a few days and then she left and they didn't know where she went. And that was that. Police said that they did everything that they could from 2004 to 2016 to determine what happened to Autum. In 2016, they decided to re-interview her boyfriend at the time, and he admitted to police that he had lied about dropping her off at the mall and said he actually dropped her off near a bridge with her friend Jessica Freeman that she worked with. In 2018, authorities tracked Jessica down, and she said, "I have no idea what y'all are talking about. I told you everything that happened the last time I spoke with you." Fast forward to 2021, authorities received a phone call from someone stating that they are relatives of Jessica and Brian. He basically said, "I need to get this off of my chest. There is a missing teenage girl in Volusia County who is deceased, and Jessica and Brian have something to do with it." They also said that the missing teenager was buried. So detectives had this person who called in with this information call Jessica under a controlled call so they can listen in on what's being said. During this call, Jessica allegedly admitted that she witnessed Brian take Autumn's life, and then he allegedly told her that he had disposed of her body in all of these different ways, like burying her, burning her, just all kinds of stuff. So 2022, the suspect in the case, Brian Donnelly, he passed away.
22, where our suspect in this case dies. Karma is a bitch.
He died on May 26, 2022. Authorities said it was nearly 18 years, almost to the day, when they believed that he took Autumn's life. So after Brian passed away, police went to re-interview Jessica, and she basically told them that she wasn't going to say anything until she was given immunity. Autum has been missing since 2004. She was 16 years old. They want to know what happened to her, and the only suspect in this case has now passed away, so they granted Jessica immunity to try to get answers. Jessica told authorities that Autum had started staying with her and her boyfriend Brian because she didn't like living with her grandmother, and that they all started forming a relationship. Autum was 16, and I think Brian was like 31 at this time. I don't know how old Jessica was. Jessica said that she came home one afternoon from work, and Brian was in the bathroom choking Autum, and by the time she had a chance to intervene and help, Autum was done gone. She said at that point she left the trailer and didn't come back for 2 weeks. When she returned to the home, she said that there was plywood like laid out over the bedroom floor, and she asked Brian where was Autum and what happened to her stuff, and he said to shut up or it'll happen to you. She's deceased. If you don't want that to happen to you, be quiet and mind your business. And she said from that point he just continued to tell her different stories and versions as to what he did with Autum. And she said in 2021 Brian actually revisited the home that he was living in at that time and was glad to see that it was under construction and getting a new driveway and a new house with her. At the time that Jessica was giving the police the information, she didn't give them an exact location as to where Autum's remains were. In 2023, police said that they believed that she actually realized, hey, this immunity thing actually worked, so she called police and told them that Autum was buried underneath of the house. A new home was put onto that lot in 2021, so police had to get search warrants and talk to the homeowner about literally removing their home and their driveway from the ground so they could search underneath of it, and they had to get approval and stuff. As of February 29th, more than 99% of remains were recovered from underneath of that house. The official identification of Autum is still pending. Some reports say that Autum wanted to go back home to her grandmother's, but Brian didn't want that because he didn't want people to...
I'm going to tag the original creator in case y'all want to go see the video yourselves. But this baby been gone 20 years. For 20 years, this woman knew. To the point where the original suspect cannot even be charged. And y'all gave her immunity for the whole thing? This is our judicial system. They lock up the innocent and protect the guilty. Because that woman knew the first time the police came, the second time. It's not no being scared. She had more to do with it. She had more to do with it. But they were so thirsty for answers, they literally let this woman walk. And then when she got real comfortable, she like, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell y'all, she's under a house. What? I'm lost for words. Because honestly, at this point, I don't feel like nobody gave a fuck about this 16-year-old. Not for real. I don't know what kind of home life she came from, but everybody failed her beginning and after the end. She was 16. Had been missing for 20 years. People can just ask to not go to jail for shit that they do. It has to be something else they can charge her with. Sad as fuck.